Hello, my name's Tyler Crenson. I am the Communications Associate here at the McPherson County Community Foundation. As some of you may know, we have just added and we have a couple of other scholarships that are trade-specific scholarships. And I think that we've wanted to get the information out there that maybe not a lot of people know just how important these trade scholarships are or how important, impactful they can be on the future of your career. So, sitting with me here today, I have Ron Redden, the enrollment specialist for Salina Technical College. Ron, how are you?
I'm good, Tyler. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah. So, we've had already kind of got a good conversation going. We were talking about guitars, but now get down to business.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think is the most beneficial part of having trade specific scholarships? Maybe giving opportunities to kids who may not think that they had them.
I think to some degree it's going to be just like the benefit from any scholarship at any college level, but for specifically on the technical side is I think maybe a lot of times the students that we're working with, they're just not even familiar with the fact that they have access to them. Like they are more familiar with hearing it from a traditional college side, but not a technical college side. So just the sheer information that they know something exists and then help with kind of what that process and steps to kind of get that going so they can have access to it. And then just the realization that there can be some other help besides either the standard government financial aid or trying to figure out a way to cover it out of pocket.
And so that kind of does bring up the question. We all know that traditional college is quite expensive. I know that for a fact. I went to
Yeah,
one. I even
me too.
did a study abroad in there too. So it's not
Ooh.
the cost rises exponentially when you look at other countries. Um, but just kind of ballpark because I know that it probably depending on the program you're going because there are probably different years that you would have to spend at a technical college depending on what.
Correct.
So
So the majority, oh, sorry, go ahead.
what would be the average cost of somebody going to like I don't know a 2 year program?
Okay, so for the 2 year program, most of our programs will be initially a 9 month technical certificate, so they can knock it out in basically the one school year.
Mm-hmm.
A few of our programs, like our diesel technology and dental hygiene programs, are a built in 2 year associates. And then pretty much all of our programs, except for maybe fire science, can be added and do a second year and get your general education courses and electives out of the way and get an associate's. Our technical certificates programs will average between 4,000 and 13,000, and our associates will be somewhere between 11,000 and 27,000.
Mm-hmm.
And that's books, tuition. A lot of times depends on the tools and what program, but that's kind of a ballpark for those.
Mm-hmm. And that you said something that I thought was kind of interesting there. You said dental hygienist because when I'm thinking, and I'm sure I'm not alone on this. When I think, trade slash technical school, I'm thinking like diesel technician, lineman, electrician school. So you're offering it's not just the trade scholarships and technical scholarships. It's not just that, but dental hygienists. I know that we have some nursing scholarships. You'll have to remind me. Do you have a nursing program at Salina Tech?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We do a PN. We actually start and do the CNA, CMA, and work kind of the process up into the PNs.
Mm-hmm.
We have auto collision restoration, automotive technology, business administration, computer aided drafting, construction. We have a shorter commercial truck driving program, both dental assisting and dental hygiene. The diesel technology, we have a new early childhood education. This past year, electrical technology, fire science, police science, HVAC, machine tool, and welding.
Mm-hmm.
So it pretty much runs a gamut
Yeah.
of the technology side of things.
So and I that even brings more up. We have like three, I believe, nursing scholarships that are active right now. And the
Okay.
two new trade scholarships that we have, along with there's a lineman specific scholarship, and then I there's got to be more nursing scholarships. I think we have quite a few nursing specific scholarships, and so
Okay.
that kind of brings into that aspect when you're looking at like the technical school side of things. It's not just the two trade ones that we had that are more aimed towards a lineman or an electrician. These scholarships are not specific to any of the trades. So say if you wanted to go be a dental hygienist and you were going to a trade school, these two scholarships that we have open right now would fit those bills. So it's not just the diesel technician side of things. So that I
Great.
think that's interesting to look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so there was another thing that you said in there with the equipment costs for tuition side of things. So some of these programs do come with equipment costs. I think the benefit that I've seen specifically with some of my friends who have gone to trade school is that they have gotten the equipment that is certified for their trade and that they're leaving the school with that equipment. And I think that that's kind of cool to talk about, right?
Absolutely. Depending on the program, there's obviously different variations of tools. What they leave in, say, the electrical or HVAC compared to diesel. I would say diesel tech is probably the one that has the most tools and probably the most cost out in tools. But you're exactly right. If they're able to get those while they're in school and help with the cost through scholarships and things like that, those are the types of tools that they can take with them when they get out in the field, and they're able to get the quality of tools to where you're going to be able to see that benefit and they can keep using it, long term. Absolutely.
Yeah, so when you're trying to find that 10 millimeter wrench in 10 years, you can go, well, at least at least I didn't pay for it because I got a
Yeah,
scholarship.
exactly. Well, we have just had a student this past school year that's a great example. He did a ton of legwork on scholarships, and our one of our diesel instructors talks about it when we give tours. Is he basically had everything paid for by the time he was starting classes. So he between scholarships and mostly that. I don't even know that he used any loans, but just grants and scholarships. It took care of his tuition, books, room and board, helped him pay for a majority of the tools. I think he even bought some tools that he didn't necessarily need yet, but he thought he might need them later just because he had some access and benefit to some support there. And so, I mean, that's a pretty good day when you can walk out the door and be done, not have a lot out of pocket, if any, and be rolling out with a giant rolling toolbox of tools that can follow you through your career too. So it's definitely you're providing something that can be a kind of a lifelong benefit if they see it that way.
Mhm. So and you kind of mentioned it a little bit, the other financial aid opportunities, because obviously scholarships might not be able to cover everything. They're nice to have. The other financial aid opportunities like FAFSA and stuff like that work with technical and trade scholarships.
Correct. So we're no different than the traditional 4 years. So they can go through on the federal site, fill out their FAFSA form, and see what they're eligible for. They can pick Salina Area Technical College as their one of their choices, and so then when that gets processed, it'll come directly to the college, and then our financial aid specialist, Rachel Galvin, will be able to see what that student is eligible for. She'll be able to see how much in grants and then how much in loan options that they would have. Be able to then contact the student and figure out what they want to accept, what they don't, and that way they have a really good handle on kind of where their costs will be through the course of the program.
And so our deadline for the two scholarships and the couple of nursing scholarships that we have coming through the summer is going to be on July 15th. Do you guys have a set end date for enrollment? Because I assume that that's probably the same for you guys, or relatively similar from Salina Tech to another trade school. If
Yeah,
there.
So we're a little different in the sense of you've got not only the trying to get accepted into whichever program that you've
Mm-hmm.
applied for, because we do a first come, first serve.
Mm-hmm.
And so we already have some programs that are full. Ones off the top that I'm trying to think of would be for the high school, our diesel tech is full, welding is full for both high school and post secondary. High school automotive is full, and electrical post-secondary is full, and that's only a post-secondary only program. HVAC is full for both high school and post-secondary, and then the high school construction program is full. So once it's full, an applicant goes on a wait list once they've gotten any of their acceptance processes done. So they have to have their high school diploma official sent, an ACT score within the last 3 years, or they can do free acuplacer testing for their replacement testing. If they've also maybe had some college prior and had an English comp and a college level math, they could use that in place of it. But once they get through that aspect, then they've been accepted into the programs. Enrollment wise, we really don't have a deadline until classes get started. Our classes for the fall will start August 18th. So technically, we could not be enrolling somebody till August 17th. That's not ideal. We'd like to have people a little bit more, have their stuff in order and be done with that a little sooner than that. But is kind of where it starts to get a little dicey for somebody if they haven't, the likelihood of them even being accepted at that point, depending on what program they want in, is not too good anyway. But as far as enrollment, that's when that would be able to take place.
And Ron, I want to thank you for taking the time to sit here and talk with me. Uh, One of the things I will say, I know that we're talking to you in Salina Tech right now, but none of our scholarships, at least for trade and or the nursing ones that we have open right now, are school specific. So it's not just Salina Tech that you can use
Sure.
these
Yeah.
scholarships for. But I'll give you the opportunity, Ron, because you sat here and talked with me about guitars and stuff like that. Uh,
Uh,
why Salina Tech?
I think it's one of those, and why we're, one of the fastest growing colleges right now is that people are seeing the benefit of a cost effective education. We have programs that are in demand. And so, job placement is high on average across the board of our programs. We're at about a 95, 96% placement rating. Some of our programs individually have had 100% placement rating for, 6 or 7 years. So, the in demand, the cost effectiveness, time effective, we've got people that can do a 9 month program and get out and be in that, $20 and higher an hour range. I'd, at least in the programs that I've been overseeing, I've seen people, getting in that $20 to $25 range for a 9 month program. And it's a pretty good window to be in, coming straight out of something that short and being, pretty low cost out of pocket. And at least right now we're, have the top 1% in graduation rate in the country over the last few years. Um, and about top 10% community colleges nationwide. So we're kind of a little unit here in Salina, but we've got connections all over the country and we offer a lot of options. So if you want to stay local and regional, we got you. And if you want to go see things, we've got you there. We've got some diesel tech guys that went to Samoa. We've got one that went to Antarctica. We've got them all across the country, and our other programs are the same. It's all stuff that you can take it wherever you want to go.
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty close to home for us here in McPherson and McPherson County. So, hey Ron, thank you for talking with me. I think we
Welcome.
gave the people what they wanted.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having me today, Tyler, and you have a good day.
Yep, you too. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. We'd like to thank Ron Redden and those at Salina Tech who were able to make this happen. Um, Up on the screen now, you're going to be seeing the descriptions for Edwin T. Pyle and the Maxell Starkey Scholarship, the two scholarships that kind of made the idea of this video possible. Those two scholarships are open until July 15th. And again, the Maxell Starkey Scholarship is for those in McPherson High School who are planning to attend a vocational school. Edwin T. Pyle is for those in the whole county who plan to attend a vocational/trade school. So if you are a student who has applied or are already going to a vocational/trade school in the upcoming semester, we do encourage you to apply. It doesn't hurt to take a look at the opportunities, and we're glad to host them. So the links to the applications and to the list of scholarships will be down below in the description. And thank you for watching.